Hi everyone. I was recently made aware of the fact that there's an issue in 4.21 that if you play and you pick up a bow on a dedicated server, nothing happens. So that's a bug. And I found out that this was specific to 4.21. It might be 4.20 as well, but I tested 4.19 because that's the version I work with, and then I upgraded. I don't know if this is by design or if this is an engine bug or that they made changes and they don't intend on fixing it. But basically this part, the set child actor class under the multi-cast change bow, that one doesn't replicate properly. This one doesn't go through properly. So what happens is that it gets stuck here verifying the change. And because it doesn't happen, it's never really pushed beyond this point, and so you'll end up with what I just had, is a blank screen. I'll also cover two other ALS specific fixes in this video, but those I'll do towards the end. First I'll talk about what you can do to fix the demo change bow. It still works in single player, and that's what I basically made this for, because like I said in the inventory video, what this does is basically override the entire child actor class of the bow. And if you are going to design a bow, there's probably not going to be such big differences between those bows. Like maybe they'll do different damages, they'll have different projectile speeds, but you shouldn't change an entire class for that anyway. And but with this method I'm about to show, you can do that, and if you only change a few variables, you can cut a lot of this logic out and make it even simpler, because then you don't need to check and do all those extra steps that we take. So for now I'm going to show an alternative method for fixing these things on a dedicated server, because I think it works fine on regular server clients. Let me check real quick. Maybe it's also, yeah, it's also on server. So just for clients then, I guess, is a better way to put it. So basically I want to disconnect this break. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. We can disconnect this and just get bow reference, hook that up here, because we do still remove the widget and all that stuff, and maybe there's some logic that we'll still want to do again. Like I said, this is the example for actually replacing this, so replacing all of the logic that you'd want to. I want to keep this to still do some sort of verification and make sure that the client is up to date, basically. And what I'm going to do is get class defaults. With this selected and these two selected, I think is a good call. I'm going to collapse nodes and then call this replace bow. Bring that up there. So from here we're going to cast to bow master class. Can make that appear, and then get class defaults. That's going to give us all the variables that are in that class. Some too many. These are all fine. We can ignore all the ignore ones. Camera settings, arrows, runtime. It's all runtime. We can ignore post process, runtime. Runtime. But these are already not activated. So that still leaves us with quite a list of variables. And what we're going to do is, instead of replacing the entire child actor, like we did before, we can copy paste this, like these 3 nodes here. So we're going to cast to our existing bow and just replace the variables that we will want to replace from this. Now, like I said, if you have a design, you won't need to replace many of these. You'll probably just want to change the damage min and damage max, because those are the variables that are going to be different between the bows are the variables that need to be updated, basically. So as an example, I'll update these 3. Instant fire, always aim when equipped, toggle aim. Where are they? Oh yeah. Set instant fire. Set toggle aim. Set always aim when equipped. And hook those up. Alright, and we'll do set damage min. Set damage max. So you can go and hook up all the variables that you want. I'm gonna replace them. This is going to take place on all the bows basically, but this event happens on the client, so it's not individually sent by the server, so that's nice. So now we want to do some sort of check. I think in this case damage would be the right variable to check. Old damage. Now what I noticed when I was simulating a high ping basically is that it would sometimes update without the bow having updated. It sounds a bit weird, but it happened. So the event would take place and then it would call begin play, but the reference, it still thought that a different bow was equipped, so it called a begin play on an object that was about to be destroyed, if that makes sense. Maybe it won't even happen now, but I'll just add this extra check because we're technically not changing the class, so maybe this is not necessary. No, it won't be necessary because we're just going to check the same variables here anyway, so it doesn't make sense. Alright, cool. So we can skip this part. Yeah. So you're going to add all the variables that you change here, and then you're going to update them in the bow that you have equipped instead of replacing that entire class. And then we'll call the begin play again, a custom begin play. And yeah, like I said, you can simplify this. You can get rid of a lot of the delays or the necessity to unequip, but you have to understand that some of these have logic tied to them. So if you're gonna change toggle aim or instant fire or always aim when equipped, there's gonna be stuff specific to those variables on begin play or one of those settings. So then you will want the player to unequip the bow first and that stuff. Something that I'll submit in an update very soon, hopefully today, is something I overlooked. And now I need to think where. In the BP Bow Master. If you go to the BP Bow Master in the event graph, you need to add this to local changes aiming. So it's just another check so to see if locally controlled. Otherwise, sometimes this will happen on other clients as well. So that's a bit of an annoying bug, but I'll make sure to have that fixed in the next submit. And if you're already working with a third-person archery, then just make sure to add this little thing here. I'll try to remember and make a separate post out of that on the Discord. So now we can actually pick up a bow. So now I have to hold to aim basically, and I know this is toggle aim, so now I can, when it's equipped, yeah, there we go, and I can toggle to aim. Now there were some movement issues. See some error issues here. There were some movement issues as well. I don't know if that's ALS specific in the project that the guy sent me, or it is for all ALS systems. But I found the source of that, and it was in the, where was it? In the bow graph. Yeah, they had added there's a switch has authority. I'm not sure if I added that or if they added that, but if you have that, don't have this basically. Otherwise, you'll get strange movements in. I know how to show that actually. So let me hook those up again. So this should not work. We'll see if it doesn't work. And we'll pick this up, and then if we equip it, you'll see he's like shaking. And that's because of this. So make sure to not have a switch as authority. If I did that in my previous tutorial, apologies, just don't have that there. And then another issue that was pointed out to me is this. So if you shoot, the arrow actually sticks into the wall, so it shoots behind you. This is not. This is an issue with the camera system, and I don't know if this is for all of you guys with ALS or if these guys maybe use different settings, but you need to enable collision test on the spring arm in the base character. Now you see that the camera won't go through walls, and you won't have that issue, and then the trace doesn't go wrong, and then the arrow doesn't end up in the wrong place, and it should all work fine. So yeah, that's that. I hope that answered the questions, and I hope that is a good fix for those of you out there who were also running into this issue. Thank you for watching. Thanks again for supporting, and if you have any issues, let me know. We'll try to get it sorted. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.